1818 by Baron Karl von Drais, and he created this wooden product, almost completely wooden, with these handlebars attached to a spoke, which was attached to the front wheel, and there was a back wheel, obviously, and it was propelled by just walking basically with your feet, and it was a very elite product. Only about 300 of them were made. Yeah. The first patent was in 1866, a while after the first bike, actually, and it was labeled Velocipede. And it was just the hobby horse, or the first iteration of the bike, but they added a propulsion system, and it got a patent. So another major patent was the anti-friction ball bearings, which were used for durability within the pedal system, and then it was used in the front wheel. Now it's used in our gear bikes. And the last one is a bicycle drive apparatus, which is a very recent one, and it uses a microcomputer to automatically shift the gears in a bike, almost like transmission in the car, which is really cool. So the only engineering discipline really used for bikes is mechanical engineering. Obviously, you're using your math, your physics to design and build these bikes. But recently, actually, e-bikes are needed a combination of electrical and mechanical engineering, which is pretty cool. So the timeline, it starts in 1818 with a hobby horse. Then they added a crank, which actually didn't get as much attention as you would think. And then 1816, a third wheel was added, but this didn't last for too long. It was changed back. Then 1866, it was given a patent, like we already discussed. 1886 was when the anti-friction ball bearings were invented. And then continued, obviously. In 1870, it was given a massive front wheel, which was extremely dangerous as it put your center of gravity super high. And kind of the rebuttal to this was in 1885 when the safety bike was introduced, which was, it kind of looks like the bikes that we know now today. It was even wheels and much lower to the ground. 1897 was the first e-bike to use 2 electric motors. In 1903, we have internal hub gears, and in 1905, there's the first 2-speed. Now, from here, it gets very advanced, and it varies a lot based on who the bike is meant for. So we get BMX bikes, e-bikes, mountain bikes, tandem bikes, fixed gear bikes, and every one has different designs based on bettering the quality of the bike for a specific consumer. Here are some of the pictures for that timeline. And the improvements, I put them all on the timeline as that's the most important part of the bike history. It's just so expansive and long. But the improvements all these improvements are just for speed, usability, safety, comfort, and efficiency. It's focusing on just bettering this product. So my change I thought was very interesting would be to add a battery that's charged by pedaling. Now, so what this would use is a sensor. And the sensor would sense if you're not putting a lot of effort, if there's low force on the pedals, then it would up the resistance and charge the battery. And if you're putting a lot of force on the pedals, like going up a hill, it would activate the motor, which would then kind of even out and control the environment you're going on. So no matter what, you need the same amount of effort to bike. The global impact, it's massive. I mean, more than 1 billion of these have been manufactured. Just in China, 500,000, which are used to commute and for fun, and it's kind of a part of culture now. I mean, most kids, or a lot of kids at least, learn to bike at a young age. And it's also a big sport. 2.2 billion people watch the Tour de France, which is only second to soccer, which is kind of cool. And here are my citations.